Welcome to segment 2 of the Tom Greene and Cole Martens NFL show called the NFL Now. Because I like to be a little bit original with a little spice so that NFL Network can't sue us. A little different, and they can't sue us. So, NFL Network, if you're watching, original programming. Thank you.
Looking for jobs, by the way.
Yes, please.
We got this.
Please. But anyway, one thing we need to talk about before our next segment here of picking games is, and because both the teams that played the overtime game last week are on a bye, it actually never occurred to me until Cole said something. Thank you. Yep. Well, let's talk a little bit about the overtime rule. Of course, last week the Seahawks beat Denver. Told you.
Okay, let's get this conversation going.
It was a toss-up, though. It was a toss-up.
I want to get my anger out on this overtime right now.
It was a toss-up, though. And Seattle went down and scored a touchdown to win the game. And I bet you Cole and I are going to agree. But let's first hear Cole's take about the overtime rule as it stands right now.
Well, as it is right now, of course, if you make a field goal on the first team who makes the field goal, which is on the first drive, the other team gets a chance to try to at least tie him in that situation. But
Marty Mornhinweg is still jealous about this from 11 years ago,
yeah.
if Lions fans remember.
Yep.
Took the wind in Champaign, Illinois? Are you kidding me?
Then if you score a touchdown, no matter what, if you score a touchdown, if game's done, doesn't really matter. And that is where my issue comes in on this one. Last week, we had the Denver Broncos with, 52 seconds left on the clock?
Yes.
At their own 20-yard line. Went 80 yards down the field in 40 seconds to tie the game up, into the two-point conversion as well. And Seattle Seahawks took a knee.
Sadly, I picked Seattle, and I was kind of rooting for Denver.
Oh, man, I flipped out when I saw Denver. I'm not going to lie, that made me so excited to see that. I thought they were done, to tell the truth. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, then Seattle needed the ball to end regulation to go to overtime, which Seattle got the ball back. Well, then after for the first drive of overtime, Seattle went down the field and scored a touchdown, and that's it. That's where it bothers me a little bit. I do believe the NFL needs to give the touchdown, after the touchdown, a chance for the other team as well, because, you see how good Peyton Manning and that offense looked in that second half. They were dominating. They were going downfield and everything. I mean, yes, it's the defense's job to stop the offense, and the other team scores. That's their fault, but that ain't fair to the other offense as well, I believe, because they never had a chance to go downfield. So I think the NFL should look after this game, especially with two very powerful teams, and a team that had a lot of momentum on their offense. I believe they need to look at the rule and give, after a touchdown happens, give the other team another chance on the second drive of the game, so that other offense has a chance to maybe score a touchdown as well. I mean, I that's my opinion on that one. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that or. Now, I've been thinking that for quite a few years now, actually, that they should do that. But once again, we see here where it hurts a team and gave them their first loss this season. But once again, most of you may not agree with me, most of you might, but that is just my opinion overall on that.
Honestly, that is very agreeable, and I do agree with it, because the NFL is now becoming more of an offensive league, as it has been ever since Jim Schwartz took over as the Lions head coach. I know I'm talking Lions, but I'm wearing the shirt. I mean, there's nothing I can do here. I gotta represent. But NFL has been more of an offensive league, and the defenses have suffered. It's not so much it's more of like Cole said, the offense needs another chance on the field. Now, of course, it's also inviting the defense to just give up the score and say, you know what? Let's try to tie the game again and see if we can get the ball back next time.
But the thing I'm saying here is, yeah, if the other team scores, give the other team one more chance. But after the other team scores, then whoever scores next, I would say end it.
Yeah.
We're not going to go back and forth, touchdown.
Yeah, I said, touchdown, and then the next touchdown
game
will win.
Over. Yeah, I agree with that one completely. Just.
It's pretty much what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just wanted to make it clear on that one if we were getting confused there.
And of course, it was also, the rule was also made to stop the just go 3 plays, kick a field goal and win it. Which the last time that happened was the 2009 NFC Championship game when Favre was Vikings Saints, and Favre ran it and he should have passed it right at the end to set up a field goal, and he missed. I think was it Blair Walsh at the time missed the field goal, and the Saints put it into overtime. 3 plays, Garrett Hartley kicks the winner. Saints go to the Super Bowl. Pretty much to stop that. And plus, who was in the first, when the new overtime rule was installed in the playoffs, who was the quarterback for Denver in the first ever overtime game of the playoffs?
I'd say 10 people.
It was.
Because that's one play. They had 80 yards. They went to, who did he go to? I think it was a tight end, if I'm correct. I can't remember who it went to, but it was a huge play for Denver. Tim Tebow got his first career playoff win, 1-0 in the playoffs. Still think he should be in the league somewhere. I don't know why, but
he's just too stubborn to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. I mean, he can play in the NFL. Yes, Cody Bromberg, I said it. He can play in the NFL.
Oh, easily he can play in the NFL.
But at quarterback, I'm just not too certain about it. But anyway, spoke our mind about that. Now let's go to the games on hand. The Jets, in a rare meeting with Detroit. Detroit only visits this spot once every 8 years.
Yeah, Detroit, they impressed me last week. I'm not going to lie. They proved me wrong, and they played very, very well last week against the Packers defense and offense that just got shut down by the Lions. I thought this Lions secondary was going to struggle against Aaron Rodgers, but secondary really didn't have to worry that much because that entire Lions defensive line showed up in that game and gave Rodgers just a heap of trouble.
The line played how they should have played years ago.
Pretty much, exactly. That's what we thought this line would be for a while. But finally they showed up last week and got Detroit, I believe, a huge momentum boost now for this season because they barely ever beat the Packers, really. And now they beat them with Aaron Rodgers. I believe that's even more of a boost for this team throughout the season. And now we go to the Jets, who suffered another loss last week, and just the team, I believe the Jets could have beat the Bears last week on Monday night. They could have, but it's just they shot themselves in the foot way too much in that one. Geno Smith, he struggled in that one, as we've seen the struggles for Geno Smith in that one, as he just made too many bad plays, and that's what hurt his team in the early and late running of the game, and that was what gave Jets a loss. And I believe that might be the issue in this one. Is it depends what Geno Smith shows up in this one. Is he going to be the one who is going to get the ball in the air and make no mistakes, or the one that's going to come and make quite a few mistakes and hurt his team? And that is why I believe the Detroit Lions are going to head into New York and get the win in this one. I believe the New York offense is going to struggle against this Detroit defensive line, and Sue and company are going to take care of Geno Smith. I believe this Lions offense is going to take care of business, and I'm going to give the Lions a win in this one, 28-20.
This one is going to be a closer game than people think, because the Jets played. They impressed me at home last week. I thought the Bears were going to run them over. Obviously not.
I knew it was going to be a close game. I thought it was going to be a close game. Because the Jets are a bad team. This is just how Geno Smith plays. That's it.
If you have Eric Decker and Chris Johnson, you're a pretty good team.
Yeah, you should be at
Let's
least.
put it that. And I will say about the Lions once again, the same old Lions, as many old people think, would not have won last week.
Oh no, nope.
I was actually waiting for that time. Okay, there's going to be somewhere where Green Bay is either going to score or Stafford's going to throw a pick that's going to cost us this game. For some reason, I was thinking, something's coming.
Well, the pick's happened from Stafford, I'll say that.
It never came, although Stafford did throw 2 picks, and I believe that one of them was not necessarily his fault. Fuller should have caught that ball.
Yep. No,
but
going off his hands.
The other one where he overthrew Calvin was Stafford's fault.
That was a Hail Mary, so I'm not a big deal. They got a safety off it, so.
That's true, which was a big momentum swinger. Thank God. Detroit wins this game 28-17. No, I did not plagiarize his stuff. That's just, I guess we're kind of on the same track this week. Pittsburgh against, I wish I had a brown bag around here, the Bucs.
Oh my God, they got something to figure out there. As the Bucs got demolished. I mean, if I could find a bigger word or a worse word for that, I would. Mm-hmm. But the Bucs just did not look good at all, and they're looking like I guess you can say same old Bucs as they used to be back in the days. As the Bucs right now not looking good offense or defensive wise, they pretty much cannot do anything. Yeah, pretty much.
But they lost to the Falcons 56-14.
Pretty much sums it up right there. Is they ain't trying to figure something out. But Pittsburgh right now, very dominant team. That's last week. They shocked me a little bit, showing that this team has some life. And now that this team is looking pretty good on offense right now, defense as well, they're looking pretty good as well. As who they just signed again? Harrison.
James Harrison
just came out of retirement to come back and
this is Pittsburgh's reaction.
That's somewhere around there. Yeah, there. They had a good stay with that coming out now. Because that's going to make their defense even better. And I don't know if he's going to be playing this week for the team or not. But I do believe Pittsburgh's going to win this one. They are just the better team overall. And Saturday, Tampa Bay are going to head to 0-4 now. And I do believe Pittsburgh's going to win this one 24-10.
Well, I pretty much have the same thing. So if you're, let's just face it this. If you're on Pittsburgh, this is your reaction. If it'll hold. And if you're on Tampa's side, this is how you'll be feeling after the game. Pittsburgh 35, Tampa 10. And it might even be lower than that. Oakland against Miami.
Yeah, Miami right now, as well, I believe, is trying to figure some stuff out now after their Week 1 win over New England. They just have not looked like the same team, as they're suffering some stuff right now, especially the running back position, trying to figure out who's going to fill in for Marino. And I believe right now Tannehill, they said, was hurt, and he's being questionable now for the game this week. So the Miami Dolphins, on both sides of the ball, trying to figure things out, as well as their opponent this week, the Oakland Raiders, who they just had to figure some stuff out as well. Their offense as quarterback position as well. They're trying to figure out running backs haven't been producing like we thought they would. Defense not looking as good as most people thought they would be. Once again, they are playing the hardest schedule in the NFL this year, which is not good for you Oakland fans. But I got good news for you. You're going to get your first win of the year this week. I do have Oakland beating Miami. They are at home, and I think that's going to be a boost. The black hole is going to help the Oakland Raiders out. And I believe Oakland's going to win this one 14-10. Oh man, I'm pushing the machine to stick again.
Yeah. Damn it, no.
Yeah, stick away from me. It's bad if you do. And it hurts me too, so don't.
Every time I want to change, I
think
don't.
When you do change, it's bad. When you don't change, it's good for me. So don't change. Let's just keep it like that.
Although Kansas City did beat Miami last week, I was a bit surprised by that.
Call it.
Yes, you did.
You better do good. I got faith in my Chiefs. The Chiefs had something.
Something's telling me that Miami is going to bounce back this week. Oakland does have the hardest schedule, and like I said before, I had them at 2-14 this year, just solely based on their schedule. They have probably better talent than they did in the years where they've been 2-14 or 4-12. But because of their schedule, I don't see them coming out of it.
I gotta give them one. I gotta give them one bone before I go out and look at the rest of the schedule and not give them any more. So I'm gonna give them one bone right here. And hopefully they accept my bone, or they're just gonna throw it away at me.
They play Jacksonville. I might give them the bone then.
Do they play Jacksonville?
I don't know. I'll have to look. Miami wins this one 28-13, but this one could be a bloodbath. Well, it's in Oakland, so when isn't the Raiders games a bloodbath?
Yeah, that place is scary. I don't want to go there. Of all the games I want to go to in the NFL, that's one game I think I want to go to. I think
per my brother, who has been to a Raiders game before, some Raiders fans were picking on a young Packers fan with a Brett Favre jersey on, and because this is the Tom Greene show and I can go unfiltered because I can, and this is probably the only time I'll do this, they called him a fucking faggot.
Huh.
A 5-year-old.
Wow.
A fucking faggot. I apologize for that swear word, but that's what they said. Unfiltered. There's nothing I can do about it. Miami 28, Oakland 13. San Diego against Jacksonville.
Jaguars. I had hope in you. No, I don't anymore. It's done now. It's Jacksonville. They're back to old Jacksonville again.
I wonder, the state of Florida in football with the exception of the Florida State Seminoles, have been awful.
Yeah, they have. And Jacksonville not doing anything to help right now as their team just not looking so good. Now they have a new starting quarterback as Chad Henning will be sitting on the bench now, even though I believe he didn't do that bad so far this year. He's only threw one interception, but Blake Bortles will be taking over at the starting quarterback position and taking his first start this year.
If anybody's seen Blake Bortles' girlfriend, Lindsay Duke, look her up. Hi, Lindsay.
I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to try that out now. But let's see if that Chargers on the Jacksonville.
Sorry, Blake, I had to say it.
But,
you're a lucky man.
Let's see how Jacksonville does this week with the new starting quarterback. And San Diego is still looking very good right now, as this team started to look a lot better than I thought they would, as I believe they beat Buffalo Bills last week is what their win was. As Philip Rivers looking very good right now. Gates, entire offense and defensive-wise, they're looking very impressive.
Doug Marrone probably had a Dennis Greene moment. The Chargers were who we thought they were.
And once again, I do believe the Chargers are going to win this one. They are at home, and I believe that's going to be a big factor in this one. And Philip Rivers, I just believe, just like we've seen Andrew Luck do last week to Jacksonville, I believe Rivers is going to do the same here, and the Chargers are going to win this one 38-10.
San Diego wins this one. It's even if it was in Jacksonville, I'd probably pick the same score because, man, I had 6 and 10 hopes on the Jags this year. Doesn't look like it's going to happen
I
now.
have playoff hopes in them, I think. Man, I thought they'd be a pretty good team.
Mm-hmm. San Diego 31, and here's the one you've been waiting for. Jacksonville 7. Once again, my weekly pick of under 10 points. Segment 3 in our final segment of this show is coming up next.